Chicago Bulls, who, by the way, will be getting Scottie Pippen back tonight. The Chicago Bulls, however, won't be starting Pippen. He's been out after undergoing back surgery this past summer. Brad Sellers, Horace Grant, Bill Cartwright start up front. Sam Vincent and Michael Jordan, who's averaging just under 38 points per game and over 43 a game over the last 5 games. That's the 25 field goal attempts a game last year. He's down to 21 field goal attempts a game this year, a shade under what he did a year ago.
But he's been struggling. He's shooting only 39% the last 3 games. He hasn't scored in the first period
in any of the last 3 games. Doc Rivers, and an illegal defense called right off the bat against the Chicago Bulls.
Well, that's the call that you're going to see a lot more of with third official being in there. He's able to spot that quite readily. Obviously, Doug Collins not pleased to start the game off like that.
Comes inbounds to Doc Rivers. He is guarded by Vincent. Dominique looking for some first quarter points, forcing a shot up and won't go for him. Rebound pulled away by Michael Jordan. And Chicago with the chance to get on the board first. Jordan, who twice this year has hit for 52 points. It's the first Chicago shot. Won't go for him. Doc Rivers clears for Atlanta. Antoine Carr. Can't find it. Cartwright pulls it down for Chicago. Off to Vincent, quickly to Sellers. Sellers has Pius on him. He's thinking about the shot.
He traveled. He moved his pivot twice.
Cartwright gets it, gives to Sellers, and an easy 2 for Brad Sellers. Chicago on the board first.
That's the type of plays he's capable of making, but he's such an inconsistent type of a player. He really does drive a coach crazy when you see all that ability there, but not have it be used.
Dominique through the lane. Still can't get one to fall. Moses Malone pulled away the rebound, lost the ball to Sellers, off to Michael Jordan. Cartwright through the lane. Bulls have scored the first 4. Reggie Pius trying to get the Hawks on the board with his baseline jumper, and he hits it.
Reggie Pius.
That was a 4-2 Chicago lead early. Vincent works it to Jordan. Jordan along the baseline, can't get it to fall. Moses Malone clears for Atlanta to Rivers to Pius. Pius can't control. He'll take the baseline jumper. Won't go for it. Malone pulls down the offensive board. Jump shot over Cartwright, won't go. Horace Grant pulls it away for Chicago, and it travels. Called against the Bulls. 4-2 Chicago. Neither team really able to get much of anything going yet. A little over 2 minutes have gone by in this first quarter. Doc Rivers, a native of Chicago, couldn't get it to fall. Cartwright pulls his second rebound of the night away. Vincent will take it over Rivers. It won't go. Rivers pulls down the board and hurt himself.
Left ankle. He grabbed his left ankle. I don't know if when he landed, he may have twisted it. That will be very, very costly to the Atlanta Hawks if he's injured for the nice shot. Keep an eye on that left ankle and see how much it does turn in. He did hit against the foot. There's what it was. He stepped against the foot of Grant and turned it over. That's probably one of the biggest causes for ankle sprains and injuries in basketball, is hitting someone's foot on the way down. What an unfortunate break. Yes, it does. He seems to be in a lot of pain. A lot of times you'll turn it over and you'll have pain for just a short period of time, and then you're able to walk it off. But obviously, Doc Rivers is not walking it off right now, at least.
That's a shame for Doc Rivers. He's from Chicago, as he mentioned, played at Proviso East High School here, was a superstar at the high school level in this. He always brings about 30 people out to these games, friends and family. But Spud Webb is in there now to replace him, and Michael Jordan.
Such explosiveness, Pete. You give him just a little opening, and he just fires right through it.
Chicago by 4, 9:13 to go in this first quarter. Dominique Wilkins still can't get one to go for him. He has missed his first 3 shots, and as Rick pointed out, has not scored in the first quarter in his last 3 games. Cartwright takes it in against Malone. Won't go for him. Grant's tip no good. He gets it back, puts it home, and drew the foul.
And that was Dominique Wilkins' fault. He was watching the action and neglected to screen Grant off of the offensive boards. And Grant made a great move to sneak into the baseline. Well, watch it again. There's the shot by Cartwright to the right of your screen. There comes Grant. You see Neek just watching him. He gets the rebound on the missed attempt, goes up, and is fouled by Antoine Carr. But it was Dominique's responsibility to screen him off the boards, and he didn't do it.
So Grant to complete the three-point play, hitting the free throw. And Chicago has opened up an early lead of 9-2. And Atlanta's going to take a timeout here. Things not going.
Well, I'll tell you right now, he got the ball, and he makes a tough spin move, and stay rushing himself. You can see right there, he did exactly what he talked about. He rushed himself on that shot. And when you're having a slump like that, what you need to do is to make sure the first couple of shots you take are as easy as possible to get yourself in the rhythm and get going. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
And the Hawks as a team 1 for 8 on the night. Antoine Carr works against Sellers. Outside to Reggie Theus. Left open, but his jumper won't fall. Rebound. Pulled away by Dominique. And there's the first basket for Dominique Wilkins in the first quarter of a Hawks game in their last 4 ball games. It is 9-4 Chicago. Cartwright has Malone on it. Lost the ball. It's off Antoine Carr, however, and Chicago will keep it with 11 seconds left in the shot clock.
Well, Bill had made an excellent move, and actually it faked Moses out of position. Moses is lucky to reach in behind and knock it away.
Sellers into Cartwright. He puts it up over Malone. Bill Cartwright with 4.
The Bulls never had that last year, so that's a whole new weapon for them.
Chicago by 7. Dominique had no shot, gives it off to Antoine. Antoine Carr in for 2 easy ones. First 2 of the night for Antoine Carr. It's a 5-point Chicago lead, 11-6. And there's your time remaining. Vincent calling out the play as he comes across the timeline. Sellers takes the jumper. Brad Sellers with his 4th point. Gets that Chicago lead back up to 7. Carr working against Grant. Back out to Spud Webb. Open for the jumper. Won't go. Sellers gives it off to Michael Jordan.
They had nobody going to the offensive boards that time.
Wow, what a move by Jordan. His 4th point.
There's the Rockets I talked about. He had just a little bit of a hole, and he accelerated so quickly through that opening. You think, what a great running back he would have been in football.
He's got a 4-point performance thus far, and has given Chicago their biggest lead of the night. 15-6, just under 7 minutes remaining. Reggie Theus trying to find that shooting touch from that spot. Misses again. Comes off to Chicago to Jordan. It's 17-6, Chicago by 11. Hawks getting ready to send John Battle into the game. Dominique Wilkins can't get it to go. Rebound off the floor to Vincent. Wilkins had 2 shots at it, couldn't hold on. Vincent almost had it stolen away, then lost the ball. Reggie Theus gets it back. A 3-on-1. Dominique had it tipped away by Cartwright. Atlanta had the easiest 2 points you could possibly get down there and could not convert.
Well, 3-on-1, you should certainly execute a lot better than this. What's happened is Reggie does the smart thing, hits the middleman. Spud stopped too quickly. He stopped way at the top of the key, gave the ball off to Neek, and Cartwright did a good job of creating a problem for him, and Neek wasn't able to get the ball to the wide open field.
John Koncak is checked into the lineup for Atlanta, and he hits for 2 points. That makes it 17-8. Just over 6 minutes to go in the quarter. John Battle is also checked in.
I just noticed something very interesting. Mike Fratello went down to pick Moses out to talk to him, and as Michael hits that jumper, and Moses kind of waved him off and said, you know, I don't need to be hearing anything right now, so keep an eye on that one for you.
Dominique Wilkins gets the jumper to go. He's got 4. With a 19-10 Chicago lead. 5:45 to go, first quarter. Vincent trying to get it down to Cartwright. Cartwright in some heavy traffic down there. Couldn't control it.
Pete, you know, it's an interesting thing. People always talk about the players having to make some sort of an adjustment when they join a new team. And the coaches, I think, have to also handling different type of players and personalities. And for Moses and Reggie, Mike Fratello is a very controlling type of coach, and they're going to have to adjust to that.
Wilkins missing the shot, gets his own rebound, and has it blocked by Horace Grant out to Michael Jordan. Jordan losing control, gets it back. Dishes off to Sellers, but his jumper won't go, and the smallest man in the court, Spud Webb, got the first hand in that rebound. It comes off to Dominique Wilkins to John Battle. Battle, who's been in a shooting slump. He shot a little better in the last game for Atlanta against Cleveland.
Now, watching him shoot and watching Dominique shoot, both of those players have a tendency when they go up to shoot to get the ball high up in their fingertips before they ever start their shot. And I don't think you can be a great shooter shooting the ball that way.
There you see the big difference in percentages from the field in his first quarter so far. Grant. Off to Michael Jordan. That one wouldn't go for him. Rebound pulled away by Antoine Carr. Carr off to Spud Webb. Webb to Battle. Battle finds contact.
That's a great pass by John Battle.
Contact now at 4 points. It's 19-12. Chicago by 7.
This is make the Hawks so tough. They had to go to the bench. They have 3 substitutes in there, and they're battling back into the game.
They joined us a few minutes into the game. Doc Rivers had to be helped off the court after injuring an ankle, and a foul's going to be called on John Concact. His first and the second foul called against Atlanta.
That big hand is to Scottie Pippen, who's making his first appearance of the season after undergoing successful back surgery on a herniated disc in his lower back, and Doug Collins is really happy to see him back. It gives him so much more versatility with his offense because of the skills of Scottie Pippen.
He didn't have the surgery until late July, and the reason for it was that 3 different scans of that back failed to disclose the disc problem. It was the 4th time around when Pippen was still having problems that they finally discovered that surgery was necessary, so it set him back a little bit this year. But he's back before schedule, really. And our first report from the Atlanta Hawks clubhouse is that Doc Rivers probably will not return for Atlanta tonight. The ankle injury serious enough to keep him out for at least the rest of the night. Bulls by 9. Battle fouled as he went to the hoop.
And I got to give you the first needle of the night, Pete. They're called locker rooms here, not clubhouses.
You got that right. When you're bouncing back and forth, you got that
No,
right.
all that baseball stuff. I mean, you've been around that baseball team too long. This is a lot more fun.
John Battle at the line. Battle, who has not been shooting well from the field, hitting 75% from the free throw line this year. Hits his first one to make it 21-13. And now it's 21-14. Battle with his first 2.
Tell you what, though, they feed you a lot better in the clubhouses.
Just over 4 minutes to go. Dave Corzine is checked in for Chicago. 7 points now for Horace Grant in this first quarter. Bulls lead back up to 9. John Battle. I don't know if Concact knew that one was coming.
Well, you're always supposed to expect the pass until the ball is on its way to the basket. That was an excellent pass, I thought, on the part of John Battle. Concact was wide open, and he's telling John, nice pass, and that's the thing to do. You want the guards to keep throwing you the ball.
Cliff Livingston is checked in. Dominique Wilkins getting a breather for Atlanta. Jordan behind the pick. Wide open is Pippen, but Pippen missed it along the baseline. It comes out. Spud Webb tried to save it in bounds. He stepped out of bounds. Moses Malone checks back in. Antoine Carr gets a breather. So now Malone, Concact, Livingston, Battle, and Webb out there for Atlanta. Vincent, Corzine, Grant, Pippen, and Jordan for Chicago. Whistle before the shot attempt.
I think on Concact, he was holding inside on Corzine. He got good position on him, but good ball movement by the Bulls that time. They seem to be executing quite well, and Doug Collins has to be pleased with the diversity that they've had in their offense. They're spreading things around a little bit.
There's John Paxson checking in. Sam Vincent sits down. Paxson's been averaging close to 11 points a game in the early season. Jordan had 3 men on him. Ball stripped from him. Comes off to Spud Webb, and Webb goes in for the easy layup. Webb's first 2 of the night. So it's now a 7-point Chicago lead with 2:49 remaining in the opening quarter. Scottie Pippen in his second year out of a tiny school, Central Arkansas.
Right there, you saw the diversification in the Bulls offense. Grant fires that shot. Pippen bringing it up the court.
He can play any of 4 different spots on that court for Chicago. That's what Battle likes to shoot from, in the paint. And he's got his first field goal, his 4th point. And the Hawks have cut Chicago's lead to 5. And a timeout will be taken here by New Jersey, playing very well. They're going for their 6th win tonight. They have an early lead over Cleveland. New York on top in the division, leading by 6 over Philadelphia. And Golden State all over Miami. Turnover gives it to Dominique Wilkins. Wilkins off to Webb. Webb, nice pass to Dominique.
That's an excellent pass on the part of Webb as he made Sellers commit and then dropped it off to Dominique. Good court awareness on the part of Bud Webb.
So Atlanta has cut the Chicago lead now to 3. Paxson works against Webb. A minute 53 to go in this first quarter. Bryant trying to get it back outside to Pippen. Pippen, after the deflection by Battle, has his shot blocked by Livingston. It comes off to Webb. Webb to Wilkins. And Atlanta can get it back to within 1 now. But the turnover gives it right back to Chicago.
That's something that the Hawks have not done a real good job of at times. 4th quarter, especially making passes like that. That was just a bad pass on the part of Dominique Wilkins. No real reason for it.
Overall, the Atlanta turnover level is the 2nd lowest in the league per game. But they have come up with some key turnovers late in ball games that have really hurt them. Webb comes up with a loose ball, brings it down for Atlanta.
But Moses is wide open in the middle, and he didn't even get the ball, and he was a little discouraged. He gave a little bit of a look because nobody was on him. Cartwright was still coming down the court.
Battle works against Pippen. Now he takes it from the top of the circle. Won't go for him. Rebound comes out to Paxson. Paxson underneath to Cartwright. Good control by Bill Cartwright that time as he scores his 6th point.
Yeah, well, Moses is a little bit sluggish getting down the court that time defensively, and they know that, and that's why they're trying to get Cartwright down there as quickly as possible.
Cartwright averaging about 12 points a game. They'd like to see him average in the 17 to 20 range to take some of the burden off Jordan. Dominique Wilkins has his shot partially blocked by Sellers. Comes off to Pippen. Pippen to Sellers. Sellers in for 2 more. He's got 6. And the Bulls have built that lead back up to 7 with just 33 seconds remaining in the opening quarter.
Now, thinking of Brad Sellers to play the type of basketball he's been playing here in the first quarter on a regular basis, the Chicago Bulls would have an outstanding basketball team. Unfortunately, Brad is liable to disappear before this game's over.
Very inconsistent player in his brief NBA career. Webb to Livingston. Battle. From 3-point range. Couldn't get it to go. Pippen pulls down the rebound for Chicago.
You talk about a battle. Watch the battle inside and battling for position between Moses Malone and Bill Cartwright. It's an interesting one.
Chicago will play for a final shot here in the first quarter. Pippen will take it. The basket is good. He drew the foul with just 2 seconds remaining. Scottie Pippen's first 2 points of the season.
You'll watch the great athletic ability of Scottie Pippen, his ability to handle the ball, little crossover move, comes in, sees the opening, a little hesitation, goes up, gets banged, is able to hang in the air and still have a nice soft touch. But let's see what he does in the free throw line. Very nice. He had some problems last season there along with Grant.
Getting the shot away just before the buzzer is Livingston, but that's it. And the Chicago Bulls have dominated this opening. You can see the Bulls with a much higher field goal percentage. They've out-rebounded Atlanta.
They've outplayed them.
They've outplayed them, period. They're getting exactly what they've been looking for, Rick, diversification in that offense.
That's exactly right, Pete, and they've gotten some easy shots inside. They've dominated in that area. That's when you don't have 18,000 people yelling for you that you seem to get a little complacent at times.
Pippen with the ball. Cartwright, Paxson, Sellers, and Jordan also out there for Chicago. Michael Jordan across to Paxson. He gives it to Scottie Pippen, whose jumper won't go. Sellers pulls away the rebound, misses the shot. Cartwright pulled away the rebound, but a loose ball foul is going to be called against Atlanta.
Yeah, John Battle holding on to Cartwright, grabbed him on the arm, and Sellers had an easy shot to put it back in. Why he didn't go up and dunk it, I don't know, but at least he got on the boards. He only had 1 rebound the other game against Philadelphia in 30-some-odd minutes of play.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, Rick and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game.
We got Reggie back in the ball game now for Atlanta.
Bias along with Livingston, Wilkins, Koncak, and John Battle, who just got hammered in the lane. go for him. Dominique Wilkins clears for Atlanta. John Battle with the ball. Gives it over to Reggie Theus. Theus couldn't get hot in that first quarter. Dumps it back outside the Battle. Only 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Dominique Wilkins from the baseline. Wilkins now with 8. And the Bulls lead, an 8-point lead.
That's a good shot for Dominique. He was squared up. He got the ball. He took his time.
Cartwright gets it down low again. Lost the ball to Battle. Off to Wilkins. Wilkins racing past Sellers. Off the glass, no. Livingston the rebound. Basket's good. He drew the foul.
But another great defensive effort on the part of Sellers, who blocked yet another shot of Dominique Wilkins. You don't see that happen very often when Neek is on the fly like that. Here he comes on the left side. Now watch Sellers. He lets Neek commit. Then he goes up. There's the block as he knocks it away. And an unfortunate bounce for the Bulls. And a good one for Atlanta, as Livingston's there to have a chance for the three-point play.
Scottie Pippen committing his first foul. Only the second foul called against the Bulls tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, we're certainly seeing Brad Sellers show you why the coaches feel that he could become an outstanding player in this league. He's been doing the type of things that they wish they could get out of him on a more frequent and consistent basis.
Chicago by 6 with 10.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Once again off the fingertips of a Chicago player, this time off Michael Jordan's hand. Dominique Wilkins for a sensational slam. He's got 10, and it's a 4-point Chicago lead.
Well, Neek is the type of dunker who likes to go off of 2 feet, and he has a vertical leap, or at least he did in his prime, with 48 inches, and he showed you quite a bit of that on that last dunk.
Sellers with Livingston on him. Sellers takes the jumper. He has 8 points.
Well, Michael Jordan drew three people, and that's the type of player he is. He's unselfish, and he gave it up to the open man. It's the way to play the game.
We've got just under 10 minutes to go in this first half. Chicago has 6-point lead. They've had it between 3 and 10 points throughout this first half. Concact drawing the foul. Looks like Cartwright got him. Cartwright's first. He's second. And John Concact goes to the line. Concact only a 63% free throw shooter in the early season. He's had some big games for Atlanta early. Came off the bench to score 14 in one game, and against Cleveland on Tuesday night, he came off the bench, didn't score, but pulled down 8 rebounds in about 11 minutes.
So that shot at Doug Collins with some of his assistants, Phil Jackson, the former great Knicks player, and Johnny Bach, who was coach at Golden State, and also Tex Winter there. Very illustrious group.
Rumor in the newspaper here in Chicago today that Phil Jackson may be a candidate for the Indiana job, since Jax Ramsey has called it quits over there. The turnover gives it back to Atlanta. Theus to Wilkins.
And now the Atlanta defense causes some problems for Chicago, and the Bulls have let them right back in this ball game, even with the loss of Doc Rivers.
So Atlanta has cut Chicago's lead. We've got a timeout. Oh, here we go.
We'll take a look at the end of the play as the turnover results. Reggie doing a good job of drawing Paxson to him. Once he commits, he drops it off to the trailer, and that's, again, good court sense and awareness of knowing. Here you see him looking. He sees he's got the man. When he draws the defender, he just lays it off for the assist and the easy two for Dominique Wilkins.
So Atlanta has come back to within 2.
He could have run by him and said, Neek, that's what you were supposed to do the time that I was the trailer, or open on the right.
Reggie Theus has scored only 2 points tonight, but he's come up with a couple of beautiful assists. Dominique has been handling the brunt of the scoring load for the Hawks right now.
That's for Michael to get back in the offense here for the Bulls.
Chicago now with 8 turnovers in the game. Atlanta with only 3, and that's helped Atlanta get back into it. Down by 2. Chicago has the ball. 9:15 to go first half. Cartwright takes it in against Concact and Livingston.
Now, he got kneed right in the thigh on the right leg, and he's hurting right now, and that is something the Hawks don't need, is to lose another player. Looked like the knee of Cartwright right into the thigh of Cliff Livingston.
Cliff Livingston called for his second personal.
We'll watch again as Cartwright will make the move into the middle of the screen. Livingston 53, and the red comes over. There's the knee, the right knee hitting the right thigh of Cliff Livingston. Now that has got to be kept warm. If that gets cold and starts to tighten up, Livingston will be in some serious trouble. He's going to go out, Carr coming in, and need to get that treated right away by Joe O'Toole.
Up right now with Doc Rivers out for the game, and now Cliff Livingston needing some attention on the sideline. Of course, Kevin Willis hasn't played all year. He's got a broken bone in his foot.
Here it is again. Now watch the knee. The right knee comes in and bangs in against him.
Chicago with a 4-point lead. 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Wilkins. He now has 14 of Atlanta's 32 points. And he's 4 for 4 from the field in this quarter. And there's another Chicago turnover. Chicago turnovers are keeping Atlanta in the game, Rick.
Yeah, that one had nothing to do with the defense. Michael Jordan just made a bad pass, and he apologized to Paxson on the way down the court. He's got to get turnovers. He's got to get involved in the offense again. I mean, he's been absent too long.
Hawks can tie it up here. They're going to Dominique right now. That time it wouldn't go. Sellers pulls down the rebound. Gives it off to Scottie Pippen. Now it comes to Jordan. Nice pass underneath to Pippen, who lost it for a moment, but got it back and converted. Pippen with 5. And Chicago's lead back up to 4 with 8 minutes remaining in the half. Dominique handling the ball a lot in this quarter. From 3-point territory. Nope. And a loose ball foul is going to be called against Antoine Carr.
I tell you what, I guess Doug Collins just love to see Dominique Wilkins taking 3-point shots all night long. That's not the shot that's going to beat them.
Cliff Livingston looks like he will be able to play some more tonight after taking that knee in the 5. Paxson to Grant. Grant with a short jumper. Nope, Wilkins pulls it away for Atlanta. As you see, Chicago has really cooled off from the field in the second quarter. The lead is still there, though. A 4-point lead, cut to 2 by Antoine Carr, his 4th point.
At the shoot-around this morning, Doug Collins said, whatever you do, don't leave your feet. In other words, don't become a member of the Paratrooper Club against Antoine Carr when he posts up. You saw what happens when you do.
Off the hands of Cartwright, then off the glass to Wilkins, another Chicago turnover.
Or I should say, when you don't stay on your feet.
Theus trying to take a shot with 3 players all over him, and he drew the foul. John Paxson committing his first. So Reggie Theus will go to the line. Reggie in his 11th year in the league, but he's only been to the playoffs 3 times. Chicago calling a timeout for both these free throws. He's a good free throw shooter. And he's been to the line a lot this year. These will be free throw attempts number 39 and 40 on the year for Reggie Theus. The man he replaced from this team, Randy Whitman, only shot 89 free throws all year last year.
I think you've got the Bob Neal touch here. I mean, you were talking about his good free throw shooting. I mean, Bob usually does that to players.
He does make 1 of 2. It's 36-35.
Well, 50% stinks.
That's true. Right out to Vincent. And there's another turnover. Sellers traveled. Now Atlanta can take the lead here. They were down by 10 points at the end of the first quarter. Now the Hawks with 6:40 remaining in the half with a chance to go on top. Moses Malone takes the jumper over Cartwright, and Atlanta has gained the lead. Moses Malone hitting his first basket of the night. Jordan down to Cartwright. Theus comes over to help out. Cartwright still went in for the hoop against Antoine Carr. Had it blocked. It comes off to Atlanta. John Battle goes coast to coast, but missed the layup.
And Grant pushed him and got away with the foul. But there's Moses doing what he does so well, is hitting those offensive boards. And that's what the Hawks have not been doing very much of. But, boy, I tell you, Harvey Grant just pushed John Battle. We'll watch the play coming up here again down the other end. Here's the block. There's the double team. Cartwright with a good move, but the great timing on the part of Carr. Moses quickly gets it out. Now watch Battle come in. Now watch 54 Grant right there. He just shoved him with the right hand. No foul called. Battle misses an easy layup, but Moses was there for the offensive rebound. Battle still should have made the layup, but he was pushed.
Malone hitting the first of 2 attempts, hitting the second one. He has 4 points in this quarter and in the game, and the Hawks have a 3-point lead. 6 minutes to go, first half.
Horace Grant, I should say. Correct myself. So Tim mess you up all the time. Brad Sellers, a nice jumper. He's having a heck of a game so far for the Bulls.
Sellers with 10 points in the ball game already.
Of course, Harvey's in Washington.
Malone taking that short jumper again. Can't get it to go this time. Jordan pulls away the rebound. Michael Jordan has not been heard from as far as baskets since about midway through the first quarter. Chicago fans looking for a foul call there. Now Michael Jordan is back. His 10th point. And Chicago reclaims the lead.
Yeah, well, he really has to get back in it. That last time when he gave it up and cut through, he was wide open, but he wasn't even looking. He could have had an easy dunk had he been looking for the pass.
Battle into his favorite spot. Blocked from behind by Sellers. And a foul call.
Foul call number 11, Sam Vincent, his first.
Sam Vincent called for his first. And John Battle will go to the line. If you see Mike Fratello doing an awful lot of talking to John Battle, a lot of encouragement, John's the type of player, Mike will tell you, that if he's having a bad night, really gets down on himself. He needs to be patted on the back, given a lot of encouragement. And going through the shooting slump, which he has in this early season, coaches have really kind of rallied around John, trying to pull him out of it.
See, he's a 4th-round pick. That's very rare to be hanging around the NBA that long, being a 4th-round pick.
That'll never happen again.
That's exactly right. Only 2 rounds next year.
Atlanta with a 1-point lead, 4:50 remaining in the first half. Grant came up a little short. Ball rolling loose. Michael Jordan came up with it. Missed the shot, and Moses Malone clears for Atlanta. Off to Reggie Theus. Theus goes in. His shot won't go. The tip won't go.
It's on a loose ball foul on Dominique Wilkins that time, and also it could have been offensive basket interference. Let's watch the play come up again. There's the shot by Reggie. He gets a tough bounce and comes out. Now Neek comes in over the back and then grabs onto the rim and the basket as well. The net, that is. But he had climbed over the back first.
Cartwright gets a breather now as Dave Corzine checks into the Chicago lineup. Vincent will bring it down for the Bulls. Sam Vincent in his 4th year out of Michigan State. Vincent couldn't get the layup to go. Carr clears for Atlanta, off to Battle. Battle taking the jumper. It's off to the left again. Carr pulls it down. His shot won't go. Rebound Grant. And Chicago with a chance to reclaim the lead here, but Sellers can't control it. Bulls had a 2-on-1 developing nicely, but Brad Sellers lost it.
Well, both teams a little bit ragged right now, not executing well. Sellers took his eye off the ball to see what was happening on the court, and that threw him off. And there's another bad play by the Hawks.
Well, right now, this has turned into a game of turnovers. Neither team able to get any kind of momentum going at all. Right now, it's a 41-40 Atlanta lead.
Well, both have only gotten 10 points so far in this period.
Vincent. Down to Grant. Now it comes to Michael Jordan. Jordan takes the jumper. He has 4 in the quarter, 12 in the game. The Bulls have the lead back by 1. Maybe, Rick, we're beginning to see what has been sort of the case with the Chicago team all season. First quarter, they kind of stick to the game plan. When things start to fall apart a little bit, it becomes more or less that one-man show again with Michael. Antoine Carr.
Well, I really believe that he should have been doing more of this in this particular quarter because they've been struggling, and he really hasn't looked to be an integral part of their offense thus far in this period.
Gives it off to Sellers. Takes the long-range shot and hits it. Sellers with 12. Gives the lead back to Chicago by 1. 2:49 left in the first half. Battle into his favorite spot. That's where he likes to get that jumper away from, in the paint. He has 8. Hawks lead it by 1 again. Vincent dishing off to Grant, and Grant converting. Horace Grant with his first basket of the quarter. He has 9 on the night. Chicago by 1.
That's another example of what penetration will do for you. It creates opportunities.
Reggie Theus loops it down to Antoine Carr.
2 minutes left in the half.
Carr's jumper goes. He has 6 in the quarter, 8 in the game. Atlanta by 1. Lead continues to seesaw back and forth. Jordan now to grab. Look at that shot. Off of one knee, that shot came. And the Hawks, with a traveling violation, will turn the ball back over to Chicago. Mike Fratello not very happy with what he's seeing out there right now.
Chris Mullen doing an outstanding job. Golden State playing now the point forward position. There you see Dominique. First he got called for traveling, then he threw the ball away, and that's where you saw Mike Fratello with his head down because his Hawks have not been executing well. And this is the problem that we're talking about. People trying to get accustomed to one another. That's not the man you want running your break. You want to have one of your good ball handlers and passers doing that. And Mike not pleased with it, but it shows you the depth that this team has. Even losing Doc Rivers, their leader on the court, they're still leading by 1 with 1:41 to go in the first half.
Spud Webb is checked into the Atlanta lineup. He's out there along with Theus, Wilkins, Cliff Livingston, who's back in there, and Moses Malone. Scottie Pippen back into the lineup for Chicago. Corzine over to Michael. He was left unguarded, but missed the jumper. Wilkins pulls it away off to Spud Webb. Into Dominique. And he has 16 points now in this first half. Atlanta a 3-point lead, a minute 12 to go. Almost another Chicago turnover. Jordan had a great idea, but Pippen had the ball tipped away. It'll still belong to Chicago with 1:06 to go. Vincent with a wide open shot. His first 2 of the night. And it's Atlanta by 1 with a minute to go in the first half. The Atlanta bench, of course, doing a lot of scoring tonight for one reason, because Doc Rivers has only played about a minute of the game before going out with that ankle injury. So that bench has gotten a lot of playing time. Livingston traveled.
Traveling, Chicago ball.
Chicago gets it back with 42 seconds remaining.
Another turnover here. That's 6 turnovers for the Hawks. And as you pointed out, they one of the best teams in the league in not turning the ball over thus far in the season.
They've only averaged about 14 a game. Milwaukee's averaged about 13 a game. Everybody else has more than that. Ball is loose, controlled by Atlanta. Livingston off to Theus. There are 18 seconds left in the shot clock. Moses Malone will go to the line.
Michael Jordan is the one coming over to help out, picking up the foul. And you can see where Moses is getting the ball now, and he hasn't been getting it all that often because he has been not much of a part of the offense. He's really looking to try and shoot the ball when he gets it. That's a tendency that offensive players have if they've been left out of the offense for a while. You tend to try and force things a little bit. Moses seems to be doing that right now. But you don't think that he works hard?
He works hard every night. He has really been a winner. 15 years in professional basketball, including those 2 years in the ABA. And of those 15 years, he's taken teams to playoffs 12 times. And to a world championship once. And unable to convert either of those 2 free throw attempts. So now, with the Prudential halftime report just 13 seconds away, Chicago could go to the locker room with a lead if they can score here. And they've given it to Air Jordan, who can't get the basket to fall, but did draw the foul. Will go to the line for the first time tonight. And Jordan, who's hitting 80% of his free throws this year, with a chance to give Chicago the lead with just 4 seconds remaining in the half. That ties the score.
Number 2, Brad Sellers.
Sellers back in. Corzine sits down. It's the Bulls by 1. 4 seconds to go in the half. In the Moses Malone. He'll launch one. Almost. Not a exactly the guy we were looking for to take that shot, but it almost went for him. And at halftime, the Chicago Bulls have gotten the lead back, but it's only a 1-point lead, 50-49 at the half. Quarter in between, he kind of didn't contribute an awful lot. He did wind up with 14 points and 6 of 11 from the field and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He pulled down 5 rebounds, dished off 4 assists. Committed 3 turnovers.
It sounds so silly when you talk about a guy who only gets 6 points in the quarter. I mean, that's 24 for a game. Most players would love to have that. But when
it's only about 2/3 of his average.
Right,
yeah.
But when you talk about Michael Jordan, I mean, that's really exceptional. Plus the fact defensively he wasn't doing what he normally does. He had no steals in the first half, and he is the leader in second, I guess, in the NBA in steals, averaging around 4 a game. In fact, he might be first. I'll double-check that. But he's either first or second.
He leads the league. He's just over 4 1/4 steals a game, so he hasn't come up with any of those yet. And kind of an adjustment type of game now for the Atlanta Hawks. Rivers gone for the night. So Spud Webb will start this third quarter in his spot, along with Moses Malone, Reggie Theus, Antoine Carr, Dominique Wilkins. Chicago brings out Jordan, Cartwright, Grant, Vincent, and Sellers. You mentioned the Hawks' rebounding disadvantage in the first half. They've been out-rebounded in almost every game this year. They have struggled on the boards this year, despite what looks like a cast of some pretty good rebounders. Well, here we go. Chicago up by 1. Third quarter just underway. Cartwright trying to hit Grant. Tipped away. It's going to be gotten right back by Michael Jordan. Moses trying to find somebody in the backcourt for Atlanta. Instead, just threw it away, and Jordan recovered for Chicago. Sellers, who had a hot first half, has not cooled off. He has the first 2 points of his third quarter, and Chicago's lead is up to 3. He is now 7 for 10 from the field. Dominique Wilkins for his 18 points. And it's a 1-point Chicago lead again. In the opening minutes of quarter number 3. Vincent works against Webb. And Jordan was fouled by Theus. First foul by Reggie.
Call number 24, Reggie Theus. His second.
Gretchen, that's his second personal. It'll be inbounded here by Brad Sellers. Hooks it inside to Cartwright, and Cartwright muscles it in over Antoine Carr, and Antoine Carr is hurt now. Looked like he got a hand right in the face.
Boy, there was a serious collision that time, and then we've had a few of those in the NBA over the last few days with the players getting banged around pretty good. Let's take a look at it again and see what happens as Antoine Carr will come over on this little screen and roll play as Moses jumps out. Reggie doesn't pick up his man rolling, and that left Cartwright wide open. He goes up with a strong move. Carr comes over, swings at him, and gets hit in the face by Bill Cartwright. And Cartwright hit the floor very hard as well. Unfortunately, neither of the players are too seriously injured, I don't think. Antoine shake it up a bit, but Jerome Kersey got banged pretty good by Benoit Benjamin the other day, who even complained that Mike Schiller almost attacked him. He's been complaining to the NBA office about that one. And then, of course, Adrian Dantley getting banged up with that unfortunate incident down in Dallas with the Mark McGuire.
Definitely going to need some oral surgery before he'll be able to get back. 55-51, Chicago by 4. Cliff Livingston has come in for Carr, gives it to Spud Webb. He's open from out there, and he's gotten better at that jumper since coming into the league. That's his 4th point tonight.
Of course, Pete, this is a non-contact sport, right?
So they say. Michael Jordan, triple team. What a pass by Michael Jordan to Horace Grant for 2. Chicago by 4. Reggie Theus can't find that jumper tonight. He's missed most of his jump shots.
Let's watch Michael Jordan on the play. You see Reggie doing a good job defensively. Michael quickly out of it, sees the double team. Now he'll turn back and doesn't even look to throw the bounce pass because he didn't want to draw the attention of the defenders to the open Horace Grant. And if I say Harvey, you can hit me, okay?
Well, I'll wait till we get down to the clubhouse. 9:46 remaining third quarter. Sellers control it. Off to Jordan. Jordan had 4 men on him for a moment there, so he backs off. Now he'll take the jumper. That hit. Michael might just be warming up. He's got 16. Looks much more into the ball game so far in this third quarter, Rick.
Yeah, he's playing the type of game that I think the fans have come accustomed to seeing him play.
Chicago by 6, 9:20 to go, third quarter.
Sure more fun to watch him when he plays that way.
Dominique, who had a good first half. Hits his 20th point. And Chicago by 4. Michael Jordan, nice pass to Grant underneath, and Grant was fouled.
See, that's the thing about Michael, or I think he's a step above Dominique Wilkins, is his ability to create things for other people. Dominique, if there's one element of his game I think that is lacking, it would be that part of it. Now just watch Michael Jordan when he gets the ball. Look at the traffic that he starts to bring to him and the attention. 3 players with the 4th were looking, and it was Livingston who was looking. He turned his back at his man Grant, and Grant did the smart thing. When your man turns his back to you or his head, you cut to the basket. That's what he did, and Michael Jordan found the open man.
Horace Grant, who has 11 points on the night, misses the first Chicago free throw attempt of the night. Hitting 1 of 2, Chicago is now 2 out of 3 from the line in this quarter. And again, they're 10 of 11. A 5-point Chicago lead and an illegal defense.
Being called against Brad Sellers. That'll be a technical foul because they started the game out with one in the first few seconds. You see some of the other scores around the league. Cleveland, they're really playing outstanding basketball. Nobody scored 100 points on them yet. Look at New York and Philly having a real battle down there in Philly.
Miami still looking for that first
win.
Well,
they closed it up a little bit. They were trailing by 20 early in the game.
Dominique Wilkins shooting the tee for Atlanta, missed it. Mike Fratello looks on from the Atlanta sideline. He'd like a win tonight for his mother Marie, who's celebrating a birthday.
And Doug Collins would like one because they start on a 6-game West Coast road trip.
Sir.
11 of their first 15 on the road.
Theus, again, goaltending's going to be called against Cartwright, so give the hoop to Theus. He has 5 points, and Chicago's lead back to 3. 8.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Michael Jordan gets it down to Cartwright. His jumper won't go. John Koncak pulling away the rebound. Gets it off to Dominique. Looping it down to Moses Malone. Malone was open for the shot, but the pass took him away from the hoop. But Moses gets 2 anyway. He has 6 on the night. It's a 1-point Chicago lead now. Both teams shooting much better. As you saw in that last graphic, Jordan through heavy traffic. Cartwright recovers, runs into Koncak, and Koncak will be called for his 3rd personal.
And that time it was a contact sport.
Bill Cartwright at the line to shoot 2.
Reggie Theus trying to dribble through Michael Jordan. He goes up and gets the goaltending call. Back down the court, he said something to the rookie official amongst the 3 who are out there in regards to no foul being called against Michael on that play. However, it looked like Reggie really initiated the contact.
So very easily, that one called against him. Here comes Scottie Pippen back into the Chicago lineup. Brad Sellers sits down. Pippen playing his first game tonight, coming off back surgery, a disc operation back in July, and he had a good first half. Cartwright now with 13 points. And Chicago leads it by 3. That's what Cartwright's been averaging this year, and they'd like to get him up in the 17 to 20 range before the season's over. Reggie Theus cannot find the range on that jumper.
And he's still looking, Steve, with his arms out there saying, what do I have to do to get a foul call? Think Doug Collins is into the game?
Always. Theus will inbound it. Gets it into Spud Webb. Theus only 2 out of 8 from the field tonight. 2 out of 9. Ball will belong to Atlanta. Michael trying to save it. Diaz gets it into Spud. Spud Webb working against Vincent. Down to Moses Malone. Cartwright's on him. And Malone muscles his way toward the basket. Missed it, but drew the foul. Cartwright committing his second.
We should get another shot at Mike Fratello if we can. I think he's going to the Pat Riley school here. He's kind of changing that do of his a little bit.
A little bit.
Slick, isn't he?
The curl is starting to go away.
I figure if it's good enough for Pat, it's good enough for him, I guess.
Malone now with 7 points on the night. He's been averaging 20 points and 13 rebounds a game since coming over to Atlanta. Now he has 8, and now the Hawks trail Chicago by 1. Pippen to Vincent. Vincent will take it over Spud Webb. Won't go for him. Pippen the rebound. Scottie Pippen with 7 points. Chicago's lead, a 3-point lead again. Moses Malone and Cartwright having quite a battle inside tonight. That one won't go for Malone. Cartwright pulls it down for Chicago off to Michael Jordan. Chicago can open it back up to 5 here. Jordan lost it. But Chicago will still hang on to the ball as it went off Atlanta's Moses Malone. A timeout called here by Chicago. 6:41 left to play in the third quarter. Doc Rivers with a sprained ankle. Returning to watch the rest of this game, but he's out for the night. We'll be right back. On Tuesday night, November 22nd, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar returns to where it all began for the final time in a Laker uniform. From Power Memorial High School through UCLA and now through all those great years with the Lakers. The Lakers make their final regular season appearance at Madison Square Garden, 8:05 Eastern Time. Rick, you'll be along with Bob Neal for that one. And then we have a special Wednesday night Thanksgiving Eve doubleheader for you. Denver at Dallas. Bob and Rick will have that one for you. And I'll join Steve Jones in Los Angeles. We'll get a look at Danny Manning against this Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls team. The big Wednesday doubleheader coming up Thanksgiving Eve here on the Superstation. Well, there's Doc Rivers being tended to by Joe O'Toole. Rivers, 3 minutes into this game, had his left ankle turn. It's turned out to be a sprained ankle. He's out for the night. And possibly a little longer. We'll just have to wait for a further report. They'll examine him further when they get back to Atlanta. And we're set to return now to action with the Bulls leading at 64-61. Down goes Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright is spending a lot of time down on the court this evening. That's about the third trip that I can recall him making that. And that's a long trip when you're 7 feet tall.
John Koncak in some foul trouble now. That's his 4th.
Yeah, a lot of key players from those teams. You see a lot of big names having injuries so far here.
And let's not forget
early part of the season.
Kevin Willis on this Atlanta team who hasn't played all year. Not expected back until late December, early January.
And, of course, Scottie Pippen just making his first appearance of the season.
Bill Cartwright now with 14 points. John Koncak in some trouble with 4 fouls now. And Chicago has upped its lead to 66-61 over Atlanta. 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Spud Webb works against Sam Vincent. Boy, Malone and Cartwright are really having a session down there in the low post. Dominique Wilkins from outside. Can't get it to go. Koncak's tip doesn't go. Out of bounds off Cartwright.
Now there's the rushing we're talking about. Dominique looked a little out of control on that particular possession and then needs to just relax a little bit. Take it easy. And Carr, after getting hit in the face, is okay.
And we're going to get a foul called against Scottie Pippen. That's his second.
And the Bulls are doing a good job against Malone. They're not doing any fronting because they don't want the lob passes to him to give him any easy layups. They want to make him work hard for everything that he gets, and they're doing an excellent job of that. Cartwright battling him step for step here tonight.
Webb directs traffic, sends it over to Reggie Theus. Antoine Carr. Fouled by Michael Jordan. That's 3 on Jordan. Doug Collins not too pleased with that call. Antoine Carr goes to the line for the first time. He's done a good job filling in for the injured Kevin Willis. He's averaged 11 points, about 5 rebounds a game. Has not missed a free throw this year. He's 15 out of 15 from the line. That's the longest string going right now in the NBA. There are 3 other players, all with Washington, who haven't missed, but none have shot that much.
Probably missed this one since we're talking about it, too.
Can he make it 17 straight? See, I'm not a jinx.
All right, that's pretty good. Nothing but net.
10 points for Antoine Carr. Chicago's lead a 3-point lead. Vincent down to Jordan. Jordan and all that traffic got the shot away. Looking for a whistle, didn't get it. Dominique Wilkins. Might have gotten away with a travel there. Antoine Carr with Grant on him. Sends it across to Reggie Theus from three-point land. Won't go. Malone pulls it down, puts the shot up over Cartwright and hits. Moses Malone with 6 in the quarter, 10 in the game, and the Atlanta Hawks back to within 1 now of Chicago with 5:24 to go, third quarter. Vincent gets it to go. His fourth point. A 3-point Chicago lead. They've been able to maintain that lead between 3 and 5 points just about this entire quarter. They open up the quarter with a 1-point lead. Reggie Theus gets it back. Baseline jumper. Won't go for it. Boy, he just can't find that shot tonight, Rick.
Well, just the way it goes sometimes. When you're open, you got to keep shooting them. When you're shooting up poorly, though, you don't want to try and force anything.
Scottie Pippen underneath to Cartwright. Cartwright getting his own rebound and following with 2. He has 17 points on the night. 9 of them coming in this third quarter, and that gets the Chicago lead back up to 5. There's your time remaining in this third quarter.
Well, Cartwright and Sellers have been the reason that they have the lead. They're picking up a lot of the slack since Michael Jordan's not looking to be that offensive-minded.
Reggie Theus with only 4 seconds left on the shot clock. And they're going to have a 24-second violation. Atlanta unable to get a shot away as the 24-second clock ran out. And that'll give the ball back to Chicago.
Look at the defense. Michael Jordan push off by Reggie. A real battle going on, and then finally into Moses, but too late as they were not aware of the 24-second clock. Had they been aware, Reggie, I'm sure, would have shot the ball when he received it back.
Jordan can't get the jumper to fall for him. Corzine pulls down the rebound and follows. His first basket of the night, and that opens the Bulls' lead up to 7 points, and Atlanta's going to call a timeout. 3:56 to go in this third quarter. And the fans are on their feet here at Chicago Stadium. There's your score, 72-65 Chicago with 3:59 remaining in the third quarter. And Rick, Michael Jordan not much of a factor in this game. It's been Bill Cartwright and Brad Sellers that have basically been doing it for Chicago. But they still have a 7-point lead. Is this what Doug Collins is looking for? More distribution of the offense, not so much dependence on Michael.
Well, I think if they can win the game and continue to play as they have been, yes. But I do think that once they start to struggle a little bit like they did in the second quarter of this ball game, Michael needs to take over. And right now, with a 5-point lead, he doesn't have to do that.
Cliff Livingston works against Grant. Back out to Spud Webb. Webb can't get the jumper to fall. Jordan's been a factor on the boards at times.
At times, he's a factor everywhere. He won so many awards last year that filled up a whole room with him.
3.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Chicago can get that lead up to 9 now. Michael Jordan had the ball tipped away by the littlest man out there, Spud Webb. Webb dishing to Cliff Livingston. He missed it. Well, there was a chance for the Hawks to turn the momentum around a little bit, and they gave it right back to Chicago. Scottie Pippen. Beautiful pass to Grant all alone. Grant with 14. Chicago's lead back up to 9.
Well, Grant, again, he's contributing as well. We mentioned Cartwright. We mentioned Sellers, but Horace Grant doing an excellent job.
Dominique Wilkins working against Pippen. Corzine comes over to help, but Wilkins still gets the hoop. He has 22.
That's not an easy shot that he's making there. He's made a couple of those tonight, but he's great on those spin moves.
Vincent will take the jumper. He was left unguarded. Spud Webb lost him for a moment, and Vincent has 6 points. The Bulls lead back up to 9. John Battle gives Giving it to Dominique Wilkins, and Dominique Wilkins scored the basket and drew the foul.
Well, Scottie Pippen made a very bad mistake that time. Tried to overplay going around to the outside of the court, leaving Dominique wide open going to the basket, and that's serious trouble. So watch the play come again. Now watch Pippen, left part of the screen, go to the outside for the steal, leaving the lane wide open as Corzine tried to come over and help, but he was too late.
Dominique Wilkins now with 9 in the quarter, 25 on the night. Chicago leads it by 6. A little over 2 minutes to go in this third quarter.
2 minutes left in the quarter.
Dudley Bradley is checked into the Atlanta lineup for the first time. Malone had his hands on the rebound, forced out by Corzine. It'll still be Atlanta's ball.
Well, Michael Jordan getting some rest right now. Doug Collins hoping that he can have something left for that fourth quarter coming up, but also hoping that the Bulls can hold on to the 6-point advantage in the last 145.
Bradley giving it to Dominique with 2 players on him. Dominique hits it nonetheless. He has 27 on the night, 11 of them in this quarter. He's got the Hawks back to within 4 with a minute and a half to go in quarter number 3. Pippen working against Wilkins. Outside to Vincent. Paxson. Back to Vincent. He runs into Bradley. No call. Paxson for 3. No basket. Out of bounds.
Credit the Hawks with excellent defense that time. They came in, they doubled, they rotated. They did an excellent job of preventing the Bulls from getting a good opportunity that time.
Brad Sellers will check into the Chicago lineup now. Horace Grant sits down. Sellers coming back into the game. He has 14 points on the night, just 2 away from his season high. And Atlanta can get it back to within 2. Bradley's going to take it. They're going to give him that shot if he wants it. He took it and missed it.
I would give it to him all night.
Paxson bringing the ball down for Chicago. Pippen, a nice move along the baseline, tipped out by Atlanta. Chicago gets it back. They'll have 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Pippen inbounds it to Sellers, who gives it off to Vincent. Pippen to Corzine. His jumper, no. Rebound, Scottie Pippen, and a foul. Scottie Pippen is back for Chicago fans.
Let's watch Mike Fratello's reaction here as he watches his team give up the offensive rebound, the foul being called, and poor Mike. I think expressions of Mike Fratello are priceless.
One of the most animated coaches in the NBA.
Still looks like a young kid, doesn't he? With that baby face. But he's an intense individual, I guarantee you that.
Pippen now has 8 points on the night. And Chicago's lead back up to 5. Atlanta's closed in a couple of times in this quarter, but Chicago's always been able to pull back up to a 5-7 point lead, somewhere in that range. And the time left in the quarter. There are about 12 seconds left in the shot clock, and it's been almost all Dominique in this quarter for Atlanta.
Well, here's a great athletic ability of Dominique Wilkins. Brad Sellers played good defense. It made him change the shot. He was able to give a little hang move, double clutched it, and off the glass again.
Wilkins now at 13 in the quarter, 29 on the night. And Chicago will play for a final shot here in the third quarter. Now Pippen starts to move. Wouldn't go for him. Malone pulls it away. He launches one the length of the court as time expires in quarter number 3. Well, the 2 teams played on about even terms in this third quarter. Chicago led by 1 at the half. They go to the fourth quarter with a 3-point lead.
The move of Dominique Wilkins that we just talked about before the last break here. Here's Brad Sellers playing the defense. Good defense, good reaction, comes across. Nique goes up. Look at the hand. Makes him change the shot. He holds on, shoots it on the way down, off the glass. 2 points for Dominique Wilkins. And when you're hot, you'll make shots like that. And Dominique certainly is capable of doing it. But those type of shots, when you're not going too well, can also hurt you. That was just a great effort on the part of Dominique Wilkins. You can see what's happened to him. He had another very difficult first quarter after going the prior 3 games without scoring at all in the first quarter. They're 3 for 10 tonight, but since that time, he's been on fire.
One thing we might want to watch for now in this fourth quarter, the Atlanta Hawks have been a poor fourth quarter team of late. They've only been averaging about 21 points in the fourth quarter their last 4 games. And on the Chicago side of it, Michael Jordan a little fresher right now than he might normally be in the fourth quarter when everybody's relying on him. He could take over this game and just put it away for the Bulls. We'll see. Malone. And the tip is good by Livingston. Livingston with 4 points. Chicago's lead, a 1-point lead.
Well, they got Moses to take the type of shot that they wanted, but they neglected to screen out on the boards.
Pippen. The jumper away and hits it. What did Doug Collins say before the game tonight? Pippen might play 12 to 15 minutes. He's been in there most of the game. Didn't start the game, but since he's been in there, he's been a definite factor. 10 points, about a half dozen rebounds for Scottie Pippen. Battle in the lane to Livingston. Wouldn't go for him, but the tip good by Livingston. His 4th point in the quarter, 6th of the night. Back to a 1-point lead. Corzine from the top of the circle. His 4th point. And Chicago's lead back up to 3. It's been between a 1 and a 7-point lead throughout this second half. Battle's had a lot of playing time tonight. Bradley getting some playing time. Doc Rivers out after spraining his ankle in the 3rd minute of tonight's game. Bradley from 3-point range again. Again it goes. Pippen. Scottie Pippen.
And that's what happens when you take bad shots like that. It allows the other team to get off and go to the races, and you can't allow Chicago to get those kind of easy baskets. That was a very poor shot, I think, that time for the Hawks.
And Chicago's lead back up to 5. John Concat getting ready to check back in for Atlanta. Battle. Hitting the short-range jumper.
And the Bulls defense has got to shore up a little bit here, Pete, because they've allowed the last 3 baskets by the Hawks to come within 5 feet of the hole. They have to force the Hawks to shoot from the outside. There really is not one really outstanding outside shooter on the court right now for Atlanta.
Chicago by 3, 9:45 to go in the game. Jordan is in an excellent night passing the ball, getting it into Pippen, and Pippen drew the foul.
Well, the Paratrooper Club gets another club member and another foul as a result.
With Livingston committing his 3rd personal, John Concack, who's in some trouble foul-wise with 4, checks back in. Cartwright coming back in, replacing Corzine for Chicago. And Pippen goes to the line. Grant will replace Pippen after he shoots.
Well, he's in Sellers. Brad Sellers is going to the bench as Pippen as Horace comes back in.
Pippen gets one more here. As the Bulls trying to get that lead back up to 5, and they don't do it this time. It's a 4-point lead. 9:39 remaining in the game. Battle brings it down for Atlanta. Gives it off to Bradley. It comes inside to Livingston. His short jumper.
Horace picking up foul, and he knows that it was a silly foul because he had his man taking a difficult shot from the baseline.
So Cliff Livingston will get a chance for the 2 points anyway from the free throw line. Antoine Carr getting ready to check back in for Atlanta. Livingston misses the first one.
Back in the line for Atlanta, number 35.
Dominique Wilkins gets a breather. Antoine Carr checks in.
Well, Chicago basically playing this game with 8 people. And the Hawks playing several more because they do have more experience and depth on the bench. And, of course, with Doc Rivers hurting himself early in the ball game, they've been forced to use extra people.
84-81, Chicago by 3. Bradley trying for the steal, tipped it out. Boy, Bradley, a well-traveled player. He has played at Indiana and Phoenix and Chicago and Washington and Milwaukee and New Jersey, and now in Atlanta. Comes outside to Paxson. Michael Jordan. Looping it, trying to get it into Cartwright. And we get a whistle. So Atlanta gets the ball back, 9 minutes to go. There's your score. Atlanta can pull to within 1 here. Battle to Antoine Carr. Livingston open from the free throw line. His jumper wouldn't go. Neither would Koncak's tip. Pippen pulls away the ball. Lost it to Antoine Carr. Over to Battle. Atlanta trying to get back to within 1 here. Down to 10 seconds left on the shot clock. And we get a whistle. So after all that time, Atlanta finally able to get a whistle against the Chicago Bulls. And while that action was going on, look who showed up at our broadcast location here in Chicago.
It's amazing the people we find in Chicago.
National League Manager of the Year, Tommy Lasorda. Congratulations on those World Champion Dodgers.
Thank you very much. Let's pull these Hawks through now.
Oh, wait a second. Let's not be partial here. Come on, just because you know Fratello.
I know Doug, too, but Fratello's Italian.
Antoine Carr, nice move, wouldn't go. Koncak pulls it away. His shot does go. Boy, the Hawks had to work for those two. But Koncak got him, giving him 8 points, and it's a 1-point game again.
And again, the inside dominating for the Hawks. They're getting everything in there. The Bulls have got to try and push them out a little.
Paxson off to Grant. Michael Jordan, who hasn't been heard from that much tonight, has 18. The lead back up to 3.
Okay.
Battle against Paxson. Sellers will be checking back in for Chicago shortly. Antoine Carr takes it over Grant. And Antoine Carr with his 12 points.
Like I said, force him outside, right? He hit the shot like that.
A 1-point Chicago lead, 7:14 to go. Scottie Pippen is back. 15 points in his first game of the season after undergoing disc surgery in July. Antoine Carr outside the Battle. Battle gets into the range he likes, but can't get the shot to go. Rebound pulled away by Paxson. Off to Scottie Pippen. Pippen, good move. Wouldn't go for him. The tip, no good. Rebound is loose. Koncak and Pippen battle for it, and Koncak's going to be called for his 5th personal foul.
Good call.
Well, Tommy Lasorda, what brings you to Chicago?
Well, Pete, I spoke at Northwestern University this evening, and I rushed down here real fast so I was hoping I could get to see the second half of the game, but I come in with about 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. I was down here to help my man, Fratello.
Yeah, I know you and Mike have become the closest of friends. He's even served as a bat boy for you, hasn't he?
That's right, and he's not only an outstanding coach, he's a tremendous guy, and I'm very, very proud to be his friend. And I think he's going to have a good ball club this year. And when they got Moses Malone and they got Reggie, I thought that's going to really make their ball club.
Okay, we'll be back with more from Chicago Stadium.
We go back to enjoy the rest of this ball game. You've seen a lot of great players over the years in baseball and all other sports. Your impressions about Michael Jordan?
Well, I think he is the Sandy Koufax or the Joe DiMaggio or the Willie Mays of basketball. He can do everything. He can do everything.
Well, they just introduced Tommy here.
And Tommy's never been one to miss a round of applause and a bow.
He can do it all, Rick. And,
right in the middle of an answer.
Sit here next to you. You were my hero. I idolized you. I thought you were one of the greatest basketball players that ever played the game, Rick Barry.
Well, thanks, Tommy.
How's your son doing?
He's doing great. They play the Soviet national team tomorrow. In fact, the Soviets are probably watching this game. Thanks a lot, Tommy.
Okay, Rick. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Tommy. And again, congratulations. Bill Cartwright with his 19th point. And with 6:22 remaining in this fourth quarter, Chicago's up that lead to 5 points again. It's right in there between 1 and 7 all the second half. Dominique Wilkins now with 31, just 4 away from his season high. It's a 3-point Chicago lead. Michael Jordan.
Well, it may be time for the two great players to take over here, Pete.
Jordan now up to 20 points. One of the things Doug Collins trying to do is to keep the ball in some other people's hands for the earlier portion of the game, so Mike was a little fresher. The other night when he scored 52 points, he didn't play the last 4 minutes of the game. He was out of gas, and the Bulls were down by a lot, so Doug just sat him down. He might have scored 70 if he had stayed in there for those final 4 minutes. Wilkins couldn't get it to go. Malone, the rebound. He was fouled. We'll see who they call it on here. call it on Grant.
They had their choice there. Both he and Michael reached in. We'll watch it on the replay as Moses Malone doing what he's been doing for so many years, getting the offensive rebound, this time off the miss. You see the position. Cartwright trying to get him, but it bounced free, and you see both players reaching. Grant had him on his right arm, and Michael had him on the left arm, and they gave the foul to Horace.
Malone now with just 11 points tonight. He has not been as big a factor offensively as he has been throughout the season for Atlanta. He's been averaging 20 points a game. Now he has 12.
Well, the Bulls defense deserves a lot of credit for that. They have not given him any real easy hoops. He's worked very hard to get what he's gotten so far.
He and Cartwright have had some battle inside. 92-89, Bulls by 3. Cartwright double team. Finds Sellers open. Sellers does not hit this one. Rebound off to Dominique Wilkins. Reggie Theus all alone. And Reggie Theus with just his 7th point of the night, but it gets Atlanta back to within 1. Just over 5 minutes to go. Pippen brings it down for the Bulls. See if they go for Michael Jordan here. No, he tried to go for Grant. Threw it away, and Atlanta with a chance to get the lead back now. 14 turnovers in the game now for Chicago. There's your score with the time remaining. And Atlanta with a chance to get the lead for just about the first time in the second half. They give it down low to Moses. Malone into the lane. Won't go for him. Cartwright the rebound. Scottie Pippen to the baseline. Brings it back out to Sellers. Over to Michael Jordan. Back to Sellers. Only 6 seconds were left on the shot clock. Battle pulls it away. A 3-on-2 Atlanta break. Grant hurrying down to help out. Dominique Wilkins trapped it down there. Gives it away to Battle. And a loose ball foul. A 3-second violation. 3-second violation.
That's an excellent call that time by the part of the official Crawford, because Battle was just standing in the lane there forever, and excellent call.
So the 3-second violation gives it right back to Chicago. And the Bulls with that 1-point lead with 4 minutes to go. Get it back up to 3 here. Grant. Over to Cartwright. They give it to Michael Jordan. Jordan's baseline jumper is short. Malone battling for the rebound. Tipped into the hands of Grant. His shot blocked by Carr. Malone pulls it away.
Well, I tell you, they are letting him hammer underneath the basket tonight.
The crowd here at Chicago Stadium looking for a whistle. And once again, Atlanta with a chance to grab the lead here. Reggie Theus threw it away. And Chicago's going to call a timeout here. 92-91, Chicago leading Atlanta. We've got 3:25 to go in the ball game. We'll be back. With 31 points tonight. He has 15 of 27 from the field. He has been shooting quite a bit more tonight than he has normally this year. Just the opposite is true of Michael Jordan.
That's exactly right. Michael's been averaging 26 attempts a game. Tonight he's only shot the ball 16 times, and they can use him right here. This is Michael Jordan
for him
time.
to take over this ball game for Chicago at this stage. He lost it. Wilkins recovers for Atlanta. Atlanta with a chance to grab the lead here. Dominique Wilkins forces the shot, hits the shot, drew the foul.
Well, I'll tell you, he might have double dribbled. Doug Collins was signaling that to the official in the background, asking for the double dribble. Look at, see, there's Doug giving the sign, and he may very well be correct on this. And let's watch him again. Here he goes. Boom, boom, one hand. He's got to put the other hand on the ball. That definitely should have been a violation.
But the officials missed it, and Dominique Wilkins with a chance for a three-point play now. Wilkins with 34 points on the night. And the Atlanta Hawks have not had the lead very much tonight, but they've got it right now with only 3 minutes to go. Pippen. To Grant. Grant's short jumper in and out. Carr trying to rebound it. Ball was slapped out by Chicago.
Called a foul in the backcourt. That's the penalty against the Bulls. The Hawks with only 2 team fouls here with 2:54 to go. They could be very aggressive defensively in this final 54 seconds of the period, because they have 2 fouls, actually one foul to give.
Cartwright now with 4. Antoine Carr will be at the line. He has 12 points tonight. Carr, who's 17 for 17 from the line this year. 2 for 2 tonight.
Peter, shows you how tough this Atlanta Hawks team is. Losing Doc Rivers early. They've had Moses Malone and Reggie Theus, 2 of their top 3 scorers, having off nights offensively, and yet here they are with 2:54 to go, leading by 3 and a chance to make it 4.
And Antoine Carr still perfect from the line for the year with 19 straight. He has 14 points tonight. The Hawks have their biggest lead of the night with 2:49 remaining. Almost a steal by Reggie Theus. They give it to Michael Jordan. Off to Sellers. Sellers has cooled off in this fourth quarter. He's tried a couple of jumpers from that range and missed them after hitting some of those shots early in the game.
Well, I'll tell you, when you get late in the ball game, things change just a little bit as far as your perspective on how important shots are, at least for some players.
2.5 minutes to go. Atlanta with a 4-point lead. Down low to Moses. He bangs into Cartwright. And who's the foul going to be on here?
That's on Cartwright.
They call it on Cartwright. And that is 5 now on Cartwright. Thought they might call it on Moses. It looked like he kicked Cartwright, or tried to, before making his move.
He's doing a little acting job trying to draw the foul as a very unhappy Doug Collins sits back down. That's been going on all night long, and that's one of the few times that they've actually made the call.
And Atlanta now has opened up a 5-point lead. Both of these teams spending a lot of the early part of the season on the road. Atlanta's only played 2 home games this year.
You see here Moses Malone coming up with 14 points, 10 rebounds. That's something they just didn't have in the center position last year. He's such a valuable addition.
And a timeout has been called by Chicago. Atlanta leading it by 6. There's your time left. We'll be back. 2:18 to go in this fourth quarter. Mike Fratello talking to his troops over on the Atlanta bench. And a much better fourth quarter tonight for Atlanta, Rick, than they've been playing in the past.
They got 24 already, but you see Moses Malone, he was a go-to guy on the teams that he's played with in the last part of the game. Reggie Theus was on the teams that he played with. And certainly for the Hawks for many years now, it has been this man, Dominique Wilkins. And at times it's caused them problems because they don't know really who to go to. If they can get it all worked out, it certainly can be an advantage to have 3 such dynamic type players.
And we get a whistle away from the ball.
That's Battle holding against Cartwright as they had a switch off.
Moses Malone called for his 3rd. Atlanta leading it by 6.
Well, they called on Moses. Battle was also holding against Cartwright.
Pippen gives it to Michael Jordan. Over to Paxson. Paxson's jumper won't go. Dominique high in the air for the rebound. Came down and walked.
Well, that's one of the problems when you get so high. You get tipped a little bit and you come down off balance.
So it goes back to the Chicago Bulls, who led for most of this game. Atlanta didn't really grab the lead for keeps until about a minute and a half ago. Now they've opened up a 6-point lead, and time's beginning to work a little bit against Chicago now. They've got to get something going, and they go to Michael Jordan, who is fouled by John Battle.
And see, when Michael first gets the ball, it's as if he's not even thinking offense, and he's thinking to pass it again. And that's certainly not the Michael that we're accustomed to seeing.
Jordan has averaged 43 points a game his last 5 games, including a couple of 52-point outbursts. One against Philadelphia, one against Boston. Tonight he has 20 points. Well below his league-leading season average of just under 38 points a game.
And the Hawks are known for playing outstanding defense, and they've worked certainly very hard here. But I think it's a combination of Michael helping to stop himself a little bit tonight. He just didn't seem to be into the game mentally from the offensive standpoint.
Atlanta by 5 with a minute 40 to remaining. Battle brings it down against Jordan. Off to Reggie Theus. Theus looking inside for Moses. Now will take the jumper himself and hit it. Theus has not had a hot hand at all tonight, but he couldn't have picked a better time for Atlanta's sake to hit that one. It's opened up a 7-point Atlanta lead, 100-93 with a minute 27 to go, and now it's really an uphill battle for Chicago. It's a 20-second timeout that's been called here by the Bulls.
But there we have the perfect example of having a player like a Reggie Theus who is accustomed to taking that shot. He didn't hesitate whatsoever. They have those type of players. There, Reggie saw the opening. He knew the clock was running down. You didn't see any fear in his eyes. He just let it fly, even though he's been shooting poorly. But that's the attitude that great offensive players have. And when you have the luxury of 3 players, if you can and try to formulate a plan that works and keeps them all happy, and you take good shots, it can work in your favor.
Reggie Theus only 3 out of 14 from the field tonight, but look at the big timing of that basket.
Exactly, Pete, and that's what I'm talking about. You know, most guys, if they're shooting 2 for 14, if they quit. They're not going to ever fire it up again. And here, Reggie hit the big one for them.
So the addition of Reggie Theus and Moses Malone to this Atlanta team, giving them some other weapons besides Dominique Wilkins for late in the game, and tonight those weapons beginning to pay off in the fourth quarter, whereas they've struggled in the fourth quarter prior to tonight. 7-point lead. Michael Jordan got the 2, drew the foul.
Now that's the first time we have seen him make that an aggressive a move to the basket, and it seems like an eternity since we've seen him do that tonight.
Antoine Carr called for his 4th personal. Michael Jordan with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
There he is again. He gets the opening, but just look at the authority that he goes in there with, the great ability to hang up in the air, still control the ball while getting hit, and lay it in with a touch.
Jordan trying to cut the Hawks lead to 4. He does.
Plenty of time left.
There's the time remaining. There's the size of the Atlanta lead. 100-96. Wilkins brings the ball down. They'll dribble some time off that 24-second clock. Theus didn't hit that one. Rebound, Michael Jordan. Less than a minute to go. The Bulls can cut it to 2. Jordan against Battle. No basket. No basket. Whistle came before the shot. Foul is called on Battle.
They'll send Michael to the free throw line again. And it just shows you, I mean, he is so incredible when he goes to the basket with authority and really thinks offense, and I don't have the answer to it, Pete. I really don't. I don't know why he's waited this long to try and do it.
Trying to get Chicago back to within 2.
Look, here he goes. He just made up his mind. Hey, I've got to go. Here he gets bumped. He wound up making the shot, but the foul occurred before he was in the act of shooting, and now he's got a chance to cut it to a 2-point lead, and again, tons of time left.
It's a 3-point game. 197 Atlanta. The Hawks calling a timeout. And the Hawks, Rick, beginning in this last 30 seconds or so to experience some of that same fourth quarter difficulty they've had the last 4 ball games.
Well, what's happened is they had dominated in this game in this fourth period to get the lead by going inside. The last 2 opportunities, Reggie had to take a tough shot. He knocked that one in to help get him up to 7 points. And then Reggie had to take another difficult shot. That one didn't drop, giving the Bulls another chance. Had it not been for Michael missing a couple of free throws here in the last 2 minutes of this ball game, it'd be a 1-point game. That miss, or those 2 misses, could be very costly indeed. Having that 3-point lead is certainly a luxury for the Hawks.
It'll be Atlanta's ball when play resumes here with 51 seconds remaining.
Well, Mike Fratello's going to want to have his team come out and use up as much of the clock as possible. Hopefully get the ball inside for your last opportunity, because if he can use up 24 seconds on the shot clock, it only allows 27 left in the ball game, which means the Bulls have to come down and try and get a good quick opportunity, and the Hawks could have the luxury of trying to run out the game and not actually having to shoot the ball again should they not score on this trip, and should the Bulls score anything other than a 3-point play on their possession.
How about in Chicago's end? What do you look for Doug Collins to do as he breaks the huddle?
Well, I think the big thing they cannot do is to foul somebody. They have got to play good, tough defense, try to keep them outside, play defense for the full 24 seconds, making them take another difficult shot like they've been able to do the last 2 times, control the boards, then get it up the court quickly if there's a break opportunity there, and try to get a quick basket if you can to leave more time on the clock to allow for other potential possibilities.
Atlanta with a 3-point lead. And play about to resume here at Chicago Stadium. A near sellout crowd on hand. And as the final words are spoken to these 2 teams, we'll remind you this program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. Dominique Wilkins has won the individual battle tonight. Hawks lead it by 3. There's the time remaining. We'll keep an eye on the 24-second clock for you. 15 seconds left on the 24-second clock. Now 10. Now 5. Malone lost it. Scottie Pippen gives it over to Michael Jordan.
That's not the play that you want. Moses dribbling it out on the court.
Jordan to Pippen along the baseline. Wouldn't go. Tip is good. Horace Grant. It's a one-point game with 19 seconds to go.
Okay, but now the missed free throws really come into play. So the Hawks have the luxury of being able to run the clock out. The Bulls are going to have to try and go for a steal. Eventually, they're going to have to foul to have a chance to get the ball back. Let's watch the turnover. There you see Moses as he got bumped, but Pippen reached in, knocked it away from him. Good help by Scottie Pippen. Then down the other end of the court, Michael Jordan tries to force the issue. Good defense by Carr, but he recovers. That is, Jordan does to get it to Pippen. He'll miss. Moses tries to get the rebound, but coming from behind,